Hi everyone and welcome back to Maths and Physics Maths Assignments. Today's lesson on functions is just a basic introduction to a straight line graph for grade 9. Right? So, general equation for a straight line, we have an equation called y equal mx plus c. Or can also, instead of writing y, we say f of x, the function of x, equal m of x plus c. So we're not going to go into mapping and all that. Right, the letter m there represents the gradient of the graph. So to get the gradient of the graph, we're always going to have the change in y over the change in x. So delta y divided by delta x, which is then, as I said, change in y divided by change in x. C there is referred to as the cutting point of the y-axis, or proper English, y-intercept, right? When we talk of the domain, we're talking of a set of all permissible values of x in a function, and that is called my domain. Range, the set of all permissible values of y. So you see that domain is x, range is y. And a function is called a range, right? So those are just basics. So we're going to go through and show you how graphically a straight line looks, etc. So graphical representation, as I say, there's my straight line drawn. If I say gradient, I'm looking at the change in x over the change in y. Right? Or not change, change in x, change in y over the change in x. See there where it makes contact with the y-axis, that is called my cutting point. Right? Domain, because a straight line can continue all x values on the negative side and all x values on the positive side, we say x element of real numbers, meaning it includes all numbers going from left to right. The range as well, it's going to go all the way up and all the way down, so therefore y element of real numbers. So this is just basics I'm trying to introduce, so that when I start now going and solving the different variations of this, you need to understand what I'm talking of. Right, so example, if we have y equal mx plus c, give you equation y equal 2x plus 4, or we can say f of x equal 2x plus 4. So number one, we can say determine the gradient of f of x. We need to know that m there represents the gradient, so whatever coefficient or value that's attached to x, that would normally be my gradient. Alright, so my gradient here is 2 because in front of x I have 2. Right, now if you say determine the y-intercept of the graph, the y-intercept there you see in blue, that is c, my cutting point. Ne? So here y equal to c equal to 4, so my y-intercept, if I make x 0 then, that becomes 0 and I'm left with 4. So as coordinates, my y-intercept 0 and 4. So whatever is written next to, or the constant value in my general equation, that is my y-intercept or cutting point. Right, determine x-intercept of y equal 2x plus 4. So to get the x-intercept of f of x, for x-intercept y equal to 0. Right, so if I make that 0, 0 equal 2x plus 4. If I take 2x across, it's positive this side, it must become negative on the other side, right? From there, we need to remember, we always divide by whatever's in front of x. Ne? So I have minus 2x divided by negative 2. What I do on one side, I must do on the other side. So 4 divided by negative 2, negative 2, negative 2, they cancel. Ne? I'm left with x. 4 divided by negative 2 gives me negative 2. So my coordinates, my x is negative 2 and my y is 0. So that is how I would find the x-intercept. So for x-intercept, it will always be y equals 0. Y-intercept, it will always be x equals 0. If I plot now there, you see I have minus 2 and 0, which is that point there, and I have 0 and 4, which is that point there. Make my two dots and I draw a straight line through it, and there I have my equation. So there, as you can see, that dot there, 0 and 4, is on my y-axis, so therefore y-intercept. This dot here is on my x-axis, therefore it's called the x-intercept minus 2 and 0. And if you want to see for the gradient, My English there is just okay to me, didn't sound right. But there I go 4 units up. From here I go 2 units across. So 4 divided by 2 would give me a gradient of 2. Alright? So I hope you follow, hope you understand. See you in the next lesson, now where we're going to be looking at the different ways we're going to test you to plot this graph, find the coordinates, etc. Right? Wish you nothing but the best. Continue practicing. Bye.